So hello and welcome to new video. So this will be the second video for our RabbitMQ series. So in this video we'll dive deeper into the implementation of RabbitMQ for the given e-commerce scenario. So we'll be getting more detailed and advanced approach and how things works within RabbitMQ from this video. So first of all we'll be setting up a RabbitMQ within any server or the cloud platform. So talking about the specific video, we'll be implementing or we'll be creating a EC2 instance of our AWS console. And last time on the first part we installed the RabbitMQ on the EC2 instance itself, but today we'll be installing Docker and we'll be using a RabbitMQ image and we'll be creating a container and we'll be working that over the container itself. And here we can see there are 4 listings. So these 4 listings are the exchanges. So first of all we'll be creating a direct exchange for order notification. So this will be for sending our order related updates. Then we'll be creating a product broadcast. So it will be a fan out exchange and it is used for broadcasting product update and pricing changes as well. Then we'll be having third exchange. So it will be our header exchange. So we'll be giving a name as notification header. So it will be routing our payment and support related messages. Then we'll be having product.interest, which will be our topic exchange, and we'll be creating this exchange for personalized product updates. And the list of the 5 queues are the consumers. So these are the queues that will be consuming the messages that are generated from the queues itself. So here we can see first of all we'll be binding each exchange with the type. So first one will be order notification. So as I mentioned, it will be a direct exchange. So we'll be adding a routing key with the routing key order.new and it will be associated with order fulfillment queue. Then we'll be having fan out exchange, and as per the last video, as I mentioned, fan out exchange will be passing the messages to all the queues. So as we can see from fan out, all the queues are getting the messages. Then we'll be having notification.header exchange. So as it's a header exchange, so it will be consisting of a message type where we'll be defining the message as payment or that could be support. And the last one we have is product.interest. So we'll be creating a routing key, and as I mentioned, for topic exchange we can pass on our asterisk or hash accordingly. So we'll be creating that type of routing key for this topic exchange. So this is the general scenario that we will be implementing. And talking about consumer queue, as we can see, e-commerce website queue will be for the e-commerce website PHP, as I have shown on the earlier video itself. Then the second one will be mobile app queue. So this will be for mobile app Java. Then we'll be having order fulfillment queue. So this will be for the order fulfillment system, which is typically we are just assuming and which might be based on Python. Then we have payment gateway queue. So that will be for payment gateway integration and it might be made using C#. And we have customer support queue for the customer support system, that will be Ruby, or that will be using Ruby. So talking about message, this will be the message that we will be passing. So for implementing direct exchange, for the exchange order.notification, we'll be using routing key as order.new and this will be the message payload, and we'll also be adding the description. Then we'll be creating a fan out exchange and sending this message. So as I mentioned, fan out exchange does not require any routing key, so we won't be passing any kinds of routing key, and it will be associated with the exchange product.broadcast and the queues. As I mentioned, it will be sending the message to all the queues. So all consumer queues will be our queues, and we'll be passing header exchange message. So this will be the header attributes where we'll be adding message type as payment. So for the topic exchange we'll be doing the same thing. Okay, so looks like we are almost done with the theoretical part. So now let's go to the EC2 instance and we'll be implementing from first to last. Okay, so here I am logged into my AWS console. So I'll be creating an instance. So let me go to EC2 section and I'll be launching the instance. So this will be my, so I'm naming my instance as RabbitMQ server. So I'll be selecting Ubuntu image, and for keep here I'll be selecting RMQ keep here. Then I'll be allowing SSH traffic from anywhere, and the storage size is set to 8 GB and the storage type is set to GP2. So these are the things that we need to take into consideration before creating an EC2 instance. So we are almost done. So it's on pending state. Let me refresh. So it will be on running state soon. So I have my messages included here. So I'll be passing the message from here. So this is the same message that we have seen earlier. Okay, so the instance is on running state. So let me connect to this. So I'll be using EC2 instance connect for logging into my instance. Okay, so it's establishing connection. So the public IP for my instance will be this. So let me clear the screen and let me log in as a root user. So let me clear this. Okay, so let me first install Docker so that we can utilize Docker for creating our RabbitMQ container. So for that, apt install. So this will be installing my, okay. Let me first update the system. Okay, so let me first update the system, apt update. Okay, so it's updated. Okay, so let me install Docker first. Apt install docker.io. Okay, so this will be installing Docker. So I am installing Docker so that I could use a container based on Docker for my RabbitMQ server. So let me clear this. And as per the last video, we know that RabbitMQ listens on port 15672 and AMQP listens on port 5672. So for that we need to create a security group and add. So the security group is already created, so we need to add inbound rules for this. So for that, let me go to my security group which my EC2 instance is listening, and let me edit the inbound rule, and I'll be adding 2 rules here. So this will be for my port 15672 for RabbitMQ. So I'll be giving this for all my. So this is for RabbitMQ, and another will be for AMQP. So this will be for all, and 5672 will be my port. So we are good to go. We have added the rule. Okay, not this one. Save rules. So let me save the rules. And as we can see, we have 3 rules where we have added 2 ports, 15672 and 5672. So we also have Docker installed. So docker -test version. So let me check the Docker version. So here we can see we have a Docker installed with version 24.0.5. So let me clear this and let me check if there are any images, which won't be. So here we can see it's a blank. So since we just installed the Docker, so let me create a container for RabbitMQ. Docker run -it-d. So I'll be using detach mode and -rm -test name. So my name will be RabbitMQ, and ports, as I said, we need to define 2 ports. So my host machine port will be 5672, and my container will also be listening on the port 5672, and the another port will be 15672 and also 15672. And the image that I'll be using is RabbitMQ : so we have an image with 3.12 tag management. So this will be the image that I'll be utilizing. Okay, so here we can see unable to find image locally. So we have no images stored locally. So it's going to Docker Hub. It's pulling the image that is RabbitMQ 3.12 locally, and here looks like we are good to go. So if I do Docker ps, we could see there is a container running which is showing the status up, and it was created 10 seconds ago, and currently it's up for 9 seconds. So here we can see 15672 is mapped with 15672, and similarly 5672 is also mapped with 5672. So we are good to go. So let me copy the public IP address of my instance, and let's go to the browser, and 15672 will be the port that RabbitMQ will be listening. So here we can see we have a RabbitMQ dashboard or the console, let's say. So my username will be guest and password will also be guest. Okay, so back to the console. So here we can see we are logged into the RabbitMQ dashboard. So first of all, as I mentioned, the first and foremost task that we need to do here is creating queues, and we also need to create extents. So for that, let me first go to queue and stream, and I'll be creating queues. So the queues, for adding the queue, here we can see there is a add a new queue option. So let me add some queue. So my first queue will be commerce e-commerce website queue. So durable, it will be set to durable. And talking about argument, we won't be adding any kind of argument as of now here. So here we can see I have e-commerce website queue created. Then I'll also be creating another queue, that is mobile app queue. So I'll be adding this queue itself. Then we'll also be creating another queue, that will be my order order fulfillment order fulfillment queue. So my order fulfillment, let me delete this queue because I want to follow the proper naming convention. So that will be my order fulfillment queue. Then I'll be creating another queue, that will be my payment gateway queue. Then the last one will be customer support queue. Okay, so as we can see, I have created all the 5 queues, that is customer support queue, e-commerce website queue, mobile app queue, order fulfillment queue, and payment gateway queue. Now we'll be moving on to exchanges, and we'll be creating exchanges. So here we can see there is a add a new exchange option. So I'll be selecting this, and the first exchange will be order notification. So this will be my order notification, and the type for this will be direct exchange. So let me also add here so that it will be easier for us to navigate as well. So direct order dot notification, type is set to direct. Okay, so I have created order notification direct exchange. Then I'll also be creating another queue, that will be my product dot broadcast, and for this we'll be selecting the type to fan out. So let me add an exchange named product broadcast for fan out. So I think I forgot to add this, so no issues. So the next one I'll be adding is notification dot header. Notification dot header, and this will be my header exchange. So here within the type we could see it's a header exchange. So let me add exchange, and the last one I'll be creating is product dot interest. So products product dot interest. So this will be topic exchange. Topic exchange. So as we can see, I have 4 queues added. So the notification header, this will be for header exchange. Order notification will be direct exchange. Product dot interest will be our topic exchange, and product dot broadcast will be our fan out exchange. So we are good to go. Now we need to bind the exchange with the queue. So for that, let me first go to notification dot header, which is a first let me go to the order dot notification, and for order dot notification I need to bind this. So for this we'll be binding this with the queue order fulfillment queue. So this will be my order fulfillment queue, and as I mentioned, so our direct exchange will be requiring a routing key. So for that I'll be adding a routing key, order.new. So this will be my routing key. So let me bind this. So here we can see this exchange, that is order.notification, is binded with the queue, order fulfillment queue, and it has a routing key, that is order.new. So the exchange for direct exchange is done. Now let me go to product.broadcast. So this will be our fan out exchange, and as mentioned, we do not need to add a routing key, but we need to bind this with the queue so that the message will be delivered to each and every queue. So for that, let me add, so my first will be order fulfillment queue. I'm binding this with this queue. The second one is e-commerce website queue. I'll bind this with the second queue. The third will be mobile app queue. Then I'll also be binding this with payment gateway queue, and the other one will be customer support queue. So here we can see product.broadcast, which is an exchange type fan out exchange, and I have binded this with 5 queues, that are customer support queue, e-commerce website queue, mobile app queue, order fulfillment queue, and payment gateway queue. So we are good to go with the fan out exchange as well. Now let me go to header exchange. So for header exchange, notification.header will be our exchange. So this will be binded with the queue, payment gateway queue, and as you remember, for the header exchange we do need to provide our pass header attribute. So for instance, we'll be binding the payment gateway queue with the header message type set to payment. Okay, so let me also show you the message for header exchange. So here we can see header attribute is message type set to payment, so we'll be utilizing that as well. So this will be payment, and I'm binding this. Okay, so for notification header or header exchange we are also good to go. Now I'll be binding this product interest with the queue. So this will be binding this topic exchange with the queue, e-commerce website queue. Okay, and for this we also need to set the routing key. So my routing key will be set to, here let me see the message. So based on that I'll be selecting the routing key. So this is product interest electronics. So let me do one thing, let me copy this and let me paste this here. So within a message we can see new is there, but I'll be adding here asterisk so that every message with this routing key will be working fine. So let me bind this. So we have successfully binded all our 4 exchanges with the queue. Okay, so we are good to go. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be utilizing this section here. So for routing exchange, so let me first go to my routing exchange. So my routing exchange will be, let me first go to my direct exchange, that is order notification direct, and here we can see there is a publish message option. So for publish message I need to add my routing key. So this will be my order.new, and within header we can see we do not need header, so we need to pass the message payload so that it will be easier for us to navigate. And I'll also be adding this description over here itself. Okay, so let me publish the message. If our message is successfully published, we could see a message published successfully pop up. So here we can see message published. So if I go to, okay, let me first publish the message for all the types of queue and we'll be checking. So message rating, we can see we have published message for this. So message rating is currently set to 0.0 second and message rate out is also set to 0.0 second. So next we go to fan out exchange, and so let me go to my fan out exchange. So my fan out exchange will be product.broadcast. Okay, within product.broadcast, so if I will be sending a message, it will be delivered to all the 5 queues. So let me go here. So for this we do not need any routing key, so I'll be copying the message payload and also description. Okay, so let me publish. Message published, we are good to go. Then let me go to the extension, and the third extension will be, let's see from here itself, so that will be header extension. It will be for notification.header. So let me go to notification.header and let me publish a message. So for this we need to provide a header attribute, that is message type, that is set to payment. So here we can see within header message our type will be payment. We do not need any routing key, so I need to pass the message payload and let me pass the description as well. Publish message, and the message publish is successful. So the final one is our topic action. So for that let me go to product.interest and let's publish a message. So for this it will be our, okay, let me show you from here itself. So my topic exchange, it consists of routing key, that is product interest electronics.new. So this will be my routing key. So here we can see we have set the routing key to product interest electronics asterisk. So based on that, if we pass any kind of routing key, that could be new or that could be old or that could be product 1, product 2, product 3, regardless of that, the message will be sent to our product interest, sorry, will be sent to the queue, this one, because it has a routing key, and any entry with its initial product interest electronics dot and anything besides that will be automatically sent to this one. And so let me add the payload here. So my payload will be new electronic item added into the store, and let me also add the description. So let me copy this and let me paste this here. So let me publish message. So here we can see message published. So let me also show you by, okay, no issue. So let's go to notification header, and within notification header, sorry, now let's go to the queue, and here we can see the total number of messages. So customer support queue, it consists of one ready message. E-commerce website queue consists of 2 messages. Mobile app queue consists of 1 message. Order fulfillment queue consists of 2 messages, and payment gateway queue consists of 2 messages. So let's first go to the customer support queue, and here we can see there is a get message option. So let me go here and let me get message. So here we can see product broadcast. So talking about product broadcast, it's a fan out exchange, and based on that it's passed on to each and every queue. So each and every queue will be consisting this message. So special discount on electronic product this weekend. This message is broadcast to all the consumer queue via product.broadcast fan out exchange. It informs all the system components about a special discount on electronics product this weekend. So this is how things work. So we did the get message as well for this one. Again, let me go to another one. So we have another queue, that is e-commerce website queue. So it consists of 2 messages. Let's see which exchange sent the message to this. So get message, since it consists of 2 messages, so I'll be selecting 2, and if I do the get message, we could see 2 types. So one is product broadcast. So as I mentioned, it's a fan out exchange, and it's sending each and every queue the same message, that is special discount on electronic product this weekend, and so on. And the other one we have is product interest. So new electronic item added in the store. So this message with routing key product interest electronics.new is delivered to e-commerce website queue via product.interest topic exchange. So this is a topic exchange, and as you know, we have provided a routing key with dot and asterisk, so based on which we received this message. So I hope the things are clear. So this is the message that we sent from here. So this is the same message. This message with routing key product interest electronic new is delivered to e-commerce website queue via the product interest topic exchange, and so on. So I hope this is clear, and let me again move on to, okay, so let me again move on to the queues, And the other one we have is mobile app queue. So it consists of one message. So this will be from the fan out extension. So as we can see, this message is broadcasted to the all consumer via fan out extension, so which we are already aware of. Then let me go to order fulfillment queue. So it consists of two messages. So let me get two messages that this queue is currently occupied with. So this is the same message that is coming from, sorry, the lower one or the second message is coming from fan out extension. So the first one message we could see, the message is sent directly from the order fulfillment, sorry, this message is sent directly to the order fulfillment queue through order notification exchange. It notifies the order fulfillment system that a new order ID has been placed and needs to be processed. So this is the message. Okay, so this is the first one. So it's coming from the direct exchange. So we have binded this queue, order fulfillment queue, with this exchange. So the message that we published via this exchange is being shown here, and the other one is from fan out exchange, which all the queues are receiving. Then the last one we have is two messages, that is for payment gateway queue. So let me get to message. Currently we could see there is no spike in the graph. So if I do get message, and let me also refresh this once. Okay, so we can see the spike is within this. So let me get two messages, and we could see we have two messages. The first one is coming from fan out exchange, which all the queues are receiving, and the second message is payment for the order 12345 has been successfully processed. This message with the header attribute message type payment is routed to the payment gateway queue through notification header exchange. It indicates the successful processing of payment for order 12345. So yes, these are the things that I wanted to make sure. So let's go back to queue once again, and let me show you this for this one. So here we can see we had two messages, and we got two messages. So getting messages from a queue is a destructive action. So generally we do not do from here itself. So the application that is application that is consumer will be automatically consuming the message without our manual intervention. So here it's publishing this message because we are manually trying to consume the message. So that's the thing. So let me once show you this one. So we have four exchanges: notification.header for header exchange, we had order notification for direct exchange, we had product broadcast for fan out exchange, and we had product interest for our topic exchange. And the binding also, I hope that's clear to all of us. So this is the header exchange. So it will be requiring argument, that is message type, and the message type will be set to any kind of message that we want based on our application. Then we had order notification. So this is direct exchange. So as I mentioned, direct exchange will be requiring routing key, so based on which we are passing the routing key. Then we have product broadcast. So product broadcast will be sending the message to all the queue which it is binded with, and we do not need to provide any kind of argument like message type or routing key itself. And the last one we have is product.interest. So within this we have binded this with our exchange or with our queue, that is e-commerce website queue, and we provided a routing key. And if you haven't watched my first video, please do watch that video so that all the base knowledge that is required for this video will be completed. And I hope this video was knowledgeful. And so yes, this is the thing that we are trying to do using RabbitMQ. So there will be a producer and there will be a consumer, and in the middle that lies a middleman, or that is a message broker service, that is RabbitMQ. And using RabbitMQ we can implement such scenarios based on our application, or based on our enterprise setting, or based on our enterprise application.